In this video, we'll be talking about the Cardano founder, Charles Hawkinson, and his prediction on Bitcoin's next all-time high, which will trigger value leakage into ADA. So before we start this video, I just wanted to ask you guys if you could please just like and follow if you like what I'm doing on here, and also drop down in the comments if you guys want me to keep covering Cardano, and let me know what you guys want me to cover. So that I would be really greatly appreciated. All right, let's get into this. Okay, so before we start with this, we're gonna go over to CoinMarketCap, kind of check out what Cardano is at. It's around 38, 39 cents right now. So we're still a little bit down on the month. If we go over here, we can look at the week. We're still down 3%. So we're still not in a very good area right now. Okay, let's get into this. All right, so Cardano founder Charles Hawkinson has said the next Bitcoin push to an all-time high would benefit the overall crypto market, including ADA, which I do really think is true. I think that when Bitcoin goes up, it does leak money and liquidity into other altcoins such as Cardano, XRP, and that kind of sort. Hawkinson described Bitcoin as the primary driver of market momentum, which is true. I really do believe in. I believe that as that goes up, everything else thrives as Bitcoin thrives. He suggested that once Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high, some value would flow from Bitcoin into altcoins such as ADA. That is very true in my opinion. And Bitcoin, if it set a new record high, this momentum could definitely reignite investor interest across the whole digital asset space. Typically, when Bitcoin rallies, capital flows into Bitcoin first as investors prioritize liquidity and relative safety. And then as Bitcoin begins to cool, that money then comes into other coins such as ADA, XRP, all of those altcoins, those kind of like secondary once Bitcoin is off, kind of those other coins that people like to invest in. Okay, so Hawkinson emphasized that this pattern of value rotation from Bitcoin and altcoins is a recurring feature of crypto markets, because in 2021, when Bitcoin surged around 68,000, coincided with explosive gains across major altcoins. And we can see here that Ethereum set a new all-time high, while ADA climbed to above $3. Look, guys, I know 2025 was not a great year. Not a great year. I didn't have to say great year. Not a great year for Cardano. I mean, it was around down 61% for the whole year. And I own Cardano. It was rough. But I believe with this since 2026 is going to be a great year with all the stuff we have going on, I believe that Bitcoin can shoot up to around 200, 250,000. And I can see some of those numbers on the conservative side. I see once these goes up, I think the Cardano would dig itself out of that hole of that kind of down margin. And I think we will thrive. I think Cardano will thrive. It is one of the most well-known, well-respected kind of altcoins and cryptos out there. And I think that with Bitcoin going to set to have a great year, I think Cardano will thrive as well, and will have one of its best years it has ever had. Okay, so the current cycle may not replicate previous ones, but I really do believe it will. I think that it's kind of, I don't want to say it always happens when Bitcoin goes up that everything else goes up, but I think that for sure the liquidity will kind of leak down into ADA and all these kind of other altcoins. I really do believe in that. I believe that Bitcoin pushes the market, and when Bitcoin is pushing up, everything else gets pushed up. So we can see when Bitcoin climbed a record of almost $126,000, only a handful of crypto assets benefited from the momentum. But I don't take this as a bad thing. I think that we're talking about Cardano, and when we talk about all these other altcoins, I believe that these are the main coins that will actually be getting this money, this liquidity, and I think these will be the coins benefiting especially. I'm not saying that nothing else will benefit. Other things definitely will benefit, but I think there are a few that really benefit. I really do think Cardano is one of those that will benefit. So we can see that Ethereum had already peaked at around 4,900 in August 2025, and XRP had already peaked at around $3.66 in July. Meanwhile, many other altcoins, including ADA, experienced muted growth and failed to reach new historic highs. And I kind of get to go back on what I said about 2025. It wasn't a great year, but I believe in Charles Hawkinson, and I do believe in Cardano. I've held Cardano all the way through because I really do believe in it. And I believe that whenever Bitcoin really shoots up to what we think it's going to shoot up to, I think that it will be such a huge and exponential growth that I don't think that Cardano can't move. I think it's impossible that Cardano does not move. I think it's almost 150%. I'm for sure 100% confident. I'm not even shy on that. I think that Cardano is 100% going to move with Ethereum, XRP, all these other huge coins. I really think it will, and I don't really doubt that at all. And so Hawkinson has projected that Bitcoin could reach a new high of $250,000 toward the end of this year. This potential outcome would lift its market cap to roughly $5 trillion. I really do believe in this. I believe in the number 250,000. I really do think that is a valid number. I think around that $250,000 margin is very realistic. And with the things happening in 2026 and the huge great news that we have, I think that it is for sure going to happen. I think when this happens, I'm hammered in, guys, that once Bitcoin moves up, everything else will move up. It doesn't matter if it's a small coin, everything is going to move up. I mean, if you think about it, Bitcoin has almost 58% of the market cap. Once that market cap kind of goes up and we see that Bitcoin, there's less Bitcoin in circulation, like I talked about in the Bitcoin reserve, the federal government trying to push for that, and on state level, those kind of Bitcoin reserves already happening. I think once there's less circulation, that will definitely fuel growth for Bitcoin. As Bitcoin goes up, there's less circulation, the price of Bitcoin go up. And once the price of Bitcoin goes up, everything else will go up. And I really do believe in Cardano here. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys right now. But thank you for watching me. Make sure, again, if you like what I'm doing, make sure to like and follow, and let me know down in the comments below what you guys want to see me covering. Really appreciate your time, and have a great day.